Hello and welcome. I am Bolanle Oluchi Babalola. Steadily and surely, we have remained committed towards providing highlights on the progress, challenges, and prospects of Nigeria's power sector. The Sector Recovery Plan is doing very well with available generation capacity of more than 7,000 megawatts. This modest achievement is also coming with enhanced wheeling capacity and a consumption level facilitated by various strategies from managers and operators across the value chain. Various presidential initiatives like the Payment Assurance Guarantee of 701 billion naira, with the direction by the Minister of Power, Works and Housing through the monthly engagement with stakeholders, has been a potent vehicle for addressing day-to-day operational challenges in the sector. The NIPP is the single largest generation company with a portfolio of 10 power plants, from which 8 of them make daily contribution on the national grid. Through the plants, NIPP has availability of about 3,000 megawatts on the grid, depending on guidelines of wheeling power by the system operators. Well, while recounting the success of our generation assets, it is important to intimate you that privatization of 3 of our power plants under the first phase remains a priority. You will recall the journey commenced in 2013, and all the processes were followed until liquidity challenges and other microeconomic issues affected the progress of the exercise. Well, the exercise is in the front burner.
Recall the transaction for the sale of all the 10 plants under the NIPP was unsuccessful because the electricity market at the time had liquidity crisis and foreign exchange issues, which seriously challenged investors and lenders in the power sector. It would also be recalled that preferred bidders emerged for the 10 thermal plants in March 2014, seeking to own 80% equities of $5.8 billion, about 2.09 trillion naira, in the plants, while government retains the 20% equity. The initiative to entrench the privatization of the 10 GENCOs under the National Integrated Power Projects (NIPP) is in phases. The 3 operational GENCOs and preferred bidders in the first phase are Emma Consortium, which won Calabar GENCO at $625 million. Motosho Electric Power won a Motosho GENCO at $659.9 million. And Seoul Electric Power Limited won that of Geregu GENCO at $690.2 million, totaling $1.975 million. These amounts will be subjected to consideration by the NDPHC and the Bureau of Public Enterprise (BPE) by the technical and financial committees of the privatization before advising the Vice President for a decision to hand over the plant to the investors. It is to be appreciated, investors will own 80% share of the 3 plants while the federal government retains 20%.
Let us, for reason of emphasis, refresh your memories on a very disturbing concern of stakeholders as it affects NIPP infrastructure. First, we share with you the experience of Engineer Richard Uche, Field Project Manager, Distribution under the National Integrated Power Projects.
This vandalized line runs from Agoka TS, a 132 by 33 Mobitra TS at Agoka, to Okuzo injection substation, where we have 1 by 7.5. It runs a total length of 22 kilometers. This particular route has been vandalized more than twice. And each time the contractor is made to replace the conductors and either vandalized or stolen materials on the line. Right now, the same line feeds Enuguku 2 by 7.5. There is a TO for 5 kilometers to Enuguku, and that section of that line is still intact. But right from Eke Agon Ukbo to Okuzo now is vandalized. The people doing this, we don't really know, but it has been telling on the project completion and the money is being spent by the federal government to fix these lines and provide electricity to the people. It's not a very good thing that is really happening. The thinking of the people is that once these electricity projects are completed, power will be supplied to the people, and the people will have to enjoy part of the dividends of democracy and what the government is providing for them. But some people have taken it upon themselves to be vandalizing what has been installed, what has been provided by federal government for the benefit of the people. Now vandals come on this line, they even broke down poles, they break the poles, remove insulators, remove conductors, and each time they are replaced, they will come back and perform similar fate. Federal government should find another means of trying to take care of these facilities, because it seems even the communities, they cannot be able to do this. Thieves are really doing what is not required, and the networks we are trying to fix, we haven't really been able to get what we intend achieving.
Now, what are the takeaways from the story by Engineer Uche? One of them is the imperative for individuals and communities to exemplify ownership and patriotism towards the protection of national infrastructure assets. In fact, on the issue, it is important to borrow from the much publicized campaign slogan, which says, if you see something, say something. By making sure vandals are reported to the appropriate security agencies for action. But Engineer Uche is not done with the challenges of vandalism in Southeast communities.
Still in the Southeast, vandals have destroyed an ongoing 132 kV double-circuit transmission line from New Haven through 9th Mile to Nsukka. The ongoing project is another priority by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company at the Eziamanike village in Enugu East, Enugu State. From assessment of the site of the incident by NIPP engineers, reveals the vandals, in addition to bringing down the towers, carted away conductors, insulators and other accessories. The vandalized double-circuit lines would slow down the pace of work on that line and hinder prompt energizing of the two new transmission substations, as the transmission lines would have to be completed before the substations can be energized. In the same axis, additional 4 towers have been destroyed, thereby threatening transmission expansion efforts in the state. Engineers say time and funds would now be spent in replacing the vandalized lines and towers instead of completing and energizing them.
We are on the site, the transmission line, 102 kV transmission line spanning from New Haven to Nsukka, being built by Pivot Nigeria Limited. This place we are standing now is called the Ziama Alolo in Enugu East local government. You can see the amount of vandalism on this line. It's been on and on, but where we are standing now happened about 2 weeks ago. If you look towards the line, you will see how many of the collapsed towers. About 11 spans of this line, or the line conductors, have been carted away. I don't know how we cannot look after the things given to us. This is provided by government for the use of the populace. But some people have taken it upon themselves to mess up. This is a very terrible damage and it's very, very shameful.
We should see government installations as our own property and ensure that they are well protected, because when these equipment are vandalized, they affect us adversely. So we should see them as our own personal properties and protect them. The projects that have been handed over by NIPP to TCN, they are in service, and we have not been having challenges of vandalism on them, except for those ones that are still under construction. And it's a pity that people are not seeing these things as a thing of progress. The projects are meant to bring progress to the community, and when they are vandalized, it's a setback, kind of. It's like shooting oneself on the foot. So we hope that this will stop actually with the sensitization that is being carried out.
The NIPP says it is necessary to maintain the campaign of engaging members of the public, particularly those residing in communities, to assist it in the fight against vandalism of collective national asset, as destroying such assets is tantamount to sabotaging the development of the nation.
We cannot be working and people will be scattering away and messing up the job that should be beneficial to the citizenry. I don't know, but I think something must be done in the place. The community can help. After all, these lines are passing through communities. So why are they not seeing the people? Are the people not living amongst us? Are they spirits? You know, so that's why I'm saying this is a very terrible damage. And this line is supposed to take power supply of 102 kV from New Haven to Nsukka. That substation now is almost finished and awaiting commissioning, but the line is not ready because of vandalism.
These transmission lines, they traverse, different terrain and communities. So what I will advise is the communities along these lines should help TCN in securing the lines, because any problem on these lines affects major part of the country, because they are bulk power wheeling lines. Assuming we lose a line between here and Makurdi now, we know a lot of megawatts will be at stake. So if these communities can help us to be vigilant and to secure these lines, then we will not have issues wheeling power from one point to another in the country.
Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited is incorporated under the Companies and Allied Matters Act as a private limited liability company fully subscribed to by federal, state and local governments with a mandate to manage the power projects tagged National Integrated Power Projects (NIPP), an intervention scheme to tackle deficit in power infrastructure, thereby increasing capacity across the three value chain.
A lot of projects have been done. When we came in, the mandate we have, clear mandate, is to provide power to Nigerians. That's the clear mandate we have. So how do we provide this power to Nigerians? One, we have to complete the existing projects. Okay, again, projects were done, but there are so many projects outstanding to be done. In transmission, a lot outstanding. In distribution, a lot outstanding. In generation, we had 10 power, the design of 10 power plants. We have 2 uncompleted, completely uncompleted. We'll have 2 again, partially completed. So our mandates, to provide power to Nigerians, to do that, we'll have to complete these projects. And we're focusing on them, we're pursuing them vigorously. We're also working towards ensuring that those not connected to the grid, the underserved rural communities, we're also able to bring power to them. Small communities, we're also doing 20,000 solar home units with the Vice President commissioned recently. We've done a community. We're receiving consignment now for the rest of the communities. We are working on that as well. So that is part of the mandate again, to bring power to Nigerians, electric power to Nigerians. Then we're also working at the existing generation stations, because NIPP were set up as a project.
The new problem now is that we are managing the operation of the turbines, curtailing them from running to full speed because there is not enough demand at the distribution end to take all the power. So that's a new problem to have, from no power to increased power, and that we can't sell. With the same results being seen in many of the other generation companies, what we now have as a country is that our power production has reached an all-time high of over 7,000 megawatts. This was not where we were in January. So it means that our policies are working, it means that our programs are working, and we are also now able to evacuate substantially all of that power by transmission. So TCN has also done its part, moving as much of the power and improving and completing its projects.
Now, turning to the south-south state of Delta, the new NIPP substation in Asaba, the state capital, has been inaugurated.
Many distribution projects as a critical arm of electricity supply chain have been completed and handed over to the distribution companies to operate and manage in their areas of franchise. The Asaba station is to efficiently service industrial clusters of the capital city and communities in the township.
Glory of God, the benefit of man. Now let's be honest, because we are handing over this asset to you.
Vertical first, turn it vertical. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then you have to give one close command.
Right. Oh,
Yes.
congrats.
The minister, while addressing a cross-section of sector participants, representatives of Delta State government and community leaders, said President Buhari is delivering on the change agenda of his administration in all economic sectors. He appreciates the men and women who worked very hard to deliver the project.
I want to first commend the managing director of NDPHC, Chiedu Ugbo, for helping us to complete this. Very few people can then fairly doubt his commitment. And also the managing director of Benin Electricity Distribution Company and all of the technical people who helped to build this. You never see them. Those who work night and day, those who give the approvals, those who move the papers. But it's when they have done all the hard work that they bring me. So it's on their behalf that I accept all your gratitude, those men and women who built this. So what are you going to do about distribution? This is what we are going to do about distribution. We are going to start expanding the distribution network, working through government, working through the discos with whatever investments and resources they can muster to expand the injection and distribution substation. So what you have here today is 2 new transformers, 50 MVA, and as she has said, it will help serve places like Okwe, Polomumi, Jarrett, New Jerusalem, Marbleville, and so on and so forth. So what will that mean? It will mean that from maybe 5 to 6 hours of power in rotation that you know as load shedding, you will probably now have double the capacity of 10 to 12 hours. That is progress, but it is not the end of the journey. You, the consumers now, as it gets better, pay your bills. That is the money that your service provider needs to continue to maintain these things.
Officials of Benin Electricity Distribution Company and Delta State thanked the NIPP for the project.
As part of ensuring a healthy transmission network, the NIPP has also constructed a transmission substation in Asaba, in addition to many substations, given the strategic position of Delta States in contributing to the economic development of the country. On this note, we thank you once again for watching this edition of Powerlinks. And until next time, remember to interact with us on our various social forms on your screen. And we promise to get back to you. Until next time, I am Bolanle Oluchi Babalola. Thank you for watching.